Where do we even begin? I can't believe it's been 10 months since posting our last video. So much has happened since then, and it's hard to articulate and even explain the changes in our lives and situation in a way that even scratches the surface of the depth of emotion. I guess we'll just start chronologically. Last September, Hurricane Ian made landfall in Florida. Fort Myers was at the heart of it, the city completely devastated by the storm. It is with great sadness that I say the beloved Hoboat did not survive that storm. She sank along with many other treasured boats that day. I've been struggling to think about what to say about it and come up blank every time. Here's what Nick says about it. He says the months after were a deep meditation on the concepts of attachment and loss. He says, I could fill pages with stories of the people, places, and things I associate with the Hoboat. And since Ian made landfall, those memories have never been far from my mind. What has been far more painful and emotionally rending, however, is the unceremonious incineration of chapters of a book meticulously planned but not yet written. A massive hurricane sunk my boat in an outburst of destructive violence, but it quietly drowned a vision of my future I deem myself capable of realizing. When I look back on this phase of my life, I know that the rose-tinted glasses of nostalgia will work their magic in highlighting the highs and polishing the lows that are part and parcel to the pursuit of complex goals. I wonder how they will work when my mind's eye gazes on the voyages not taken, the storms not weathered, the fish not caught, the globe not trotted, the challenge not met, the life not lived, and the story not told. I walk away from this ordeal awed by the power of chance, the pain of loss, and a better understanding of what it means to be human. It's now July of 2023. I wish I could say that things have leveled off after the boat loss, but who are we kidding? It's us. We did what any level-headed 35-year-olds would do. Bought some property in El Salvador, bought an old RV, and drove south for a new life. All right, quick tour inside the No Boat Land Yacht. We've got captain, co-captain up here, a bed, some surfboards, and this is a little kitchen area here. Lots of storage, and a little seat here.
Here you go, my lady.
Ah! And then a bed back here, more storage, good size fridge right here, and a bathroom. Little sink, shower, toilet. And that's it. To Laredo, to the airport to pick up Chris, but the RV started making a really bad sound and Nick started cursing a lot, and now we're stopped in the parking lot and the hood's up, so I don't know what's happening. Well, after some minor automotive delays, we got back on the road and picked up Nick's older brother, Chris, who joined us for the journey. Once we figured out how to make it over the border in Laredo and to the right office to obtain visas and temporary permits for our vehicles, we were greeted inside by some kind of Nuevo Laredo tourist agency that gave us goodie bags with white I Heart Nuevo Laredo hats, t-shirts, water bottles, and a medical kit. We found these hats hysterical and wore them frequently throughout the trip. Anytime a new adventure presented itself, we would say, "This is a white hat moment," and put on our matching hats and step out of the land yacht. Several friends and family members expressed concern about the safety of this adventure. But after 4 days of traveling through Mexico, I can honestly say that the most dangerous thing about this country is the street side tacos, or so Chris tells us. One of our first stops is a charming town in the middle of the mountains, probably 9 hours from the Laredo border. There's a well-manicured lawn area with a dozen odd, demonic-looking statues and a very colorful fruit stand with piñatas dangling from the ceiling. Nick and I quickly decide this is a white hat moment, wake up Chris from the back seat, and pull over. One of the most notable things about Mexico is the colors. It's so vibrant and playful, from the food to the flowers. Back on the road, we run into another problem. No change for the tolls. So we sent our best gringo out to work the line of fellow travelers.
Gringos abroad. Gringos abroad. You got it.
We got it. We got it.
This guy is a wheeling dealing winner.
You got it?
Got it.
We decided to stop for the night in the charming town of Orizaba, which is nestled at the base of the Cerro del Borrego mountain peak. There is a massive park in the middle of the town with a European-style street across from it. So off we went for more adventure.
There it is.
I guess I'll have to rob a bank. I guess it could be worse. It ain't that bad. At least I ain't sitting in no Baghdad in the middle of a hot damn desert, sitting in a tank. Well, every time the wife talks, baby gets mentioned. I'm so broke I can't pay attention. Lord, how it tears me up to see her cry. Oh, I've been spending all my nights on the internet, looking for a clue but ain't found one yet. Just a bunch of Mopars, guitars, and other stuff I can't buy. Well, now, Lord, if you can hear me, won't you throw a damn dog a bone? 'Cause if the devil shows up with a better deal, the souls are going down. Oh, I sing 'em real pretty, sing 'em real sad, and all the people in the crowd say,
So there we were, just driving along, listening to 7 Hayes Carll CDs on repeat, when all of a sudden we stumbled onto a sight I've never seen before, a mountain range full of cacti. The video really doesn't do it justice. It is the Tehuacancuicatilan Valley, a dense forest of cacti that spread across 360,000 acres of southeastern Mexico. Apparently, the area has some of the highest levels of biological diversity in North America. The vastness and novelty of the place was overwhelming. The word that comes to mind is delight. The American poet Jack Gilbert wrote, "We must risk delight. We can do without pleasure, but not delight, not enjoyment. We must have the stubbornness to accept our gladness in the ruthless furnace of this world." A few more automotive issues, salt fields, and beaches later. Oh, and Nick trying to convince us that we should shower in the middle of the road with a hose attachment to the RV. We made it to the Guatemalan border. It was shenanigans from the start, starting with this incompetent border guard taking over 20 minutes of photos of our stuff, meeting a young Guatemalan kid who offered to help us get over the border for $100, the price of which kept increasing as the hours passed. And they did pass. We spent 2 nights in this land of purgatory, about a block long, where you're not quite in Mexico and you're not quite in Guatemala.
Okay, gracias.
So after 2 days of total buffoonery, we were informed that we did not have the necessary paperwork to enter the country. A bit of a head scratcher, considering the dozens of people that were illegally crossing the border via raft right below the feet of these dedicated public servants. I'll spare you the details, the bribes, and the number of times this kid and his uncle kept trying to run off with our passports, and tell you that we ended up abandoning the border crossing mission, driving 5 hours north back up through Mexico to the nearest international airport in Chiapas. We decided to leave the RV there, fly home, and try again next month. So we made the best of the rest of our little journey, including bathing in a river, a fabulous palm-covered RV park, more beaches, more coconuts, and a reminder to hold your dreams loosely. Always be flexible, grateful, and never drink the tap water. Life is short. Make it count.
I asked you where you'd been, and you said none ya. None your business, don't you ask no more. You said if you would do a better job of listening, then maybe you would understand why I'm at the door. You just had to paint the front porch ceiling turquoise. You said that's the way we do it in the South. You claimed it keeps out all the evil spirits. Sometimes I can't believe the words are coming out your mouth, but I try because I want to know your heart the best way that I can. Through the laughter and the pain and the sometimes just insane, girl, all I wanna do is be